They say old houses settle, that the groans and creaks are just wood adjusting. I used to believe that before I moved into this one, before the attic door appeared. It started the week I signed the lease. I had just broken up with my fiancé, quit my job in Chicago, and moved 3 hours south to a small town where rent was cheap and people kept to themselves. I thought I needed solitude, a fresh start. The house was a 2-story colonial, worn but solid, cheap because the owner had passed. No family, and the realtor just wanted it off her hands. I signed the lease in 15 minutes. The first night was quiet, cold, lonely, but the second night, I noticed something different. I woke around 3 a.m. to a sound upstairs. Not the usual old house creak. This was deliberate, rhythmic. Knock, knock, knock. 3 soft taps, like knuckles on wood. I sat up in bed, heart fluttering. I wasn't imagining it. I was wide awake. The sound came again. Knock, knock, knock. It was coming from the hallway. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. I crept out of bed, heart in my throat, and opened my bedroom door. Silence. I scanned the hallway. Empty. No movement, no sound. But when I looked up, there was a door in the ceiling, an attic door, with one of those pull-down strings hanging in the air. But here's the thing. That door wasn't there yesterday. I swear, on everything I love, it wasn't there. I'd walked the hallway a dozen times, unpacking, cleaning. I would have noticed an attic hatch. Now, it loomed overhead, like it had always belonged. I stood beneath it, gripping my phone like it could protect me. I didn't pull the cord. I went back to bed, convinced I'd just missed it. In the morning, I checked again. The door was gone, just smooth ceiling. I took photos, even sent one to my sister with a nervous laugh. Ever see a vanishing attic door before? She replied, ha ha, probably just sleepwalking. You do that, remember? But I wasn't sleepwalking. That night, it came back. Same time. 3 a.m., knock, knock, knock. I jumped out of bed and looked down the hallway. There it was, the attic door, string dangling like a crooked finger, waiting. This time, I pulled it. The ladder dropped with a dry wooden screech. Cold air spilled down like fog. I pointed my flashlight up. The attic was a black hole. I called out, "Hello?" Nothing. Just silence. But silence has a sound. It rings in your ears, like something's holding its breath. I climbed 3 steps, then stopped. Just above eye level, in the dusty black, something moved. I froze. A shadow shifted. It didn't flinch when the light touched it. It didn't flee. It watched me. And in that moment, I knew. I wasn't alone in the house. I never had been. The next day, I didn't unpack. I didn't clean. I sat at the kitchen table, watching the hallway like it might blink. I called the realtor. "Does the house have an attic?" Pause. I don't think so, she said. "It's not in the floor plan." "Why?" "No reason?" I lied. That night, I barricaded the attic ladder with a chair and an old shelf. I stayed up, every light on, phone clutched in hand. 3 a.m. came, and so did the knocking, but not from the ceiling this time. It came from inside the walls, scratching, dragging, like fingers feeling their way through insulation. I pressed my ear to the drywall. Tap, tap, tap. Something was moving, trapped or hiding. I backed away, breath catching in my throat. Suddenly, the bathroom light flickered. Then the kitchen light. Then every bulb in the house blinked out, except one. the hallway light, and beneath it, the attic door, wide open. I didn't run. I couldn't. My legs were ice. I stood there, staring at the blackness above me. Then, it came down. A hand. Thin. Pale. Not a corpse hand, but almost. Like something between alive and dead. It reached for the floor. Then another hand followed. And then it crawled down. Slowly. Unnaturally. Upside down on the ladder. Its head hung low. Long hair, stringy and wet like it had just climbed out of a lake. It didn't have a face, just skin, like someone had covered it over with wax. But I could hear it breathe, labored, wet, and it knew my name. I heard it, not in my ears, but in my head. "Lena!" I screamed, loud. I grabbed my phone and turned the flashlight on. It vanished, gone. The attic was sealed. Light back on, door gone. I left that morning. I didn't pack a thing. I drove 3 hours straight to my sister's. When she opened the door, she looked me over and said, "You look like you haven't slept in weeks." "I haven't," I said. A month passed. I moved to a new place, new city, high-rise apartment, no attics. I tried to convince myself it was stress, hallucination, sleepwalking, like my sister said. But last night, I woke at 3 a.m., and from the ceiling above my bed, a small, frayed rope hung down. I haven't looked up yet. I don't want to know if the door is there, because if it is, I know what's waiting on the other side. But I looked. Of course I did. I always thought people in horror stories were stupid. "Don't open the door," I used to say. "Don't go toward the sound." But when it's 3 a.m. and your chest feels like it's full of static, when every instinct in your body screams at you that you're not alone, curiosity isn't a decision, it's a pull. So I looked. The frayed rope hung only a few inches from my face. It swayed slightly, as if someone had just let go of it. I followed it upward, and sure enough, there it was again, the attic door, right above my bed. But I live on the top floor of a 12-story building. There's no attic here. At least, there shouldn't be. I stood on the mattress and reached up to touch the cord. It felt warm. Not room temperature warm, body warm. That was the first time I noticed the smell. Wet earth, rotting wood, Moldavian, and something metallic. Blood. I pulled the string. I shouldn't have. With a creak and a groan, the door opened slowly, like it had been waiting. The ladder unfolded with a series of loud wooden cracks and dropped to the floor. I backed up. I didn't want to look inside, but something moved again. Something crawled down. Only this time, I could see it better. It was me. I don't mean someone who looks like me. I mean, it was me. Same hair, same scars, same nightshirt I was wearing. Only, the skin was wrong. Loose, hanging, like it didn't quite fit. And the eyes, milky, unfocused, like they'd forgotten how to blink. It climbed halfway down the ladder and stopped. Then it spoke, in my voice. But it wasn't a perfect match. It was just slightly off, like a recording played at the wrong speed. "You left the door open," it rasped. "Now we can come through." My body locked up. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't scream. Behind the thing wearing my face, others emerged from the darkness, crawling down walls, writhing, unfolding. They had no faces, just smooth skin where mouths and eyes should have been. But they watched me. I could feel it. They were pouring in, through the attic, through something deeper. And in my head, a voice, not mine, whispered, "You're the door now, Lena." I don't remember much after that. When I came to, it was morning. The ladder was gone. So was the string. But I wasn't alone. I could feel something inside me. Something waiting. Every mirror shows my face a little off. Every reflection feels a half second behind. Sometimes my shadow moves when I don't. Last night I heard knocking from the back of my closet. Tonight it's under the bed. I don't sleep anymore. I can't. Because every time I close my eyes, I dream of that attic. And when I wake up, the string is closer,